All right, I believe we are live again, and hopefully we're experiencing less chop. Let me just double check on Twitch.
It is less choppy to me.
It's less
Yeah,
choppy.
I'll
Yeah,
move.
looks pretty decent. It
Perfect.
is less choppy to me.
It's less choppy.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
move.
looks pretty decent.
Okay.
It is less
Looks like
choppy to me.
audio is working as well. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in, even though there is nobody.
I don't know what
This
you're
is
talking
our
about. I'm
first.
definitely tuning in. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Charles, for tuning in to our first ever stream. Um, a little bit about us. We are a group of, I guess, nerds you would call us that have been playing D&D for how long now, guys? 4 years? Almost every Tuesday. Um, yeah,
I think,
we
yeah, probably 4 years. Wow, that feels like not that long, but I guess it's already 2022.
yeah,
Yeah.
the past 3 years didn't exist, and well, I guess past 2 years, and then I think we played 2 years before that, so we'll call
You've
it
been
four
playing for
years.
2 years before that,
I,
yeah.
I don't think I was there all the way at the beginning. I joined about probably a year into you guys playing D&D, or maybe like 6 months in or
Yeah,
something
we
like that.
swapped you out for your brother subtly halfway through.
It
Uh,
had actually started as a post rock climbing activity.
yeah, it did.
The
R.I.P.
yeah.
rock climbing. I wish I could still climb rocks.
You
Anyways,
can.
what this stream is we're going to be playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Um, uh, the channel name is the Arcane Eye. That's because I run a website called arcaneeye.com where I talk about all things Dungeons and Dragons related. You know, tips and tricks for players, player guides, product reviews, all that kind of stuff. So if you play D&D, go ahead and check out arcaneeye.com. I also do some writing for dndbeyond.com, which is the official tool set for the 5th edition of Dungeons and Dragons. Today we're actually going to be playing an adventure called Vecna Die that I co-wrote with one Michael Galvis, who is the head content guy over at D&D Beyond. We wrote this because last week the Vecna dossier dropped on D&D Beyond. The Vecna dossier is kind of like this lore stat block for Vecna. If you don't know who Vecna is, definitely go to D&D Beyond and check it out. If you've watched Stranger Things 4, you may have also heard the name Vecna. Have any of you guys watched Stranger Things 4?
I have not yet. And
Uh,
is this going to be spoilers for Stranger Things 4?
There will be absolutely no spoilers for Stranger Things 4. For those that aren't
We're
aware, I'm
golden.
pretty sure the entire internet is aware, except for maybe you guys.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, I found the 3 people that aren't aware of this. But in every season of Stranger Things, they take a monster from D&D and kind of change it a little bit to be the main villain. Like the first season was the Demogorgon, which is like a demon prince from D&D. The second and third season were about the Mind Flayer, which you guys have fought
Okay.
previously. And then this 4th season is about Vecna, and it's kind of like the big bad evil guy of Stranger Things, which fits because he's also kind of the big bad evil guy of Dungeons and Dragons. Um, but enough talking about what we're doing. Let's start playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
Heck yes.
So again, one more thing about this adventure. I said we were going to play, but one more thing. This is a 20th level adventure. So actually, before we start, just everybody go around, just introduce yourself very briefly. You can just say your real name and then tell us what you are playing for this 20th level adventure where I'm going to try to kill you with Vecna. Let's start with Charles.
Uh, well, I'm Charles. Hi. And I'm going to be playing Endrick Lightbringer, a stout halfling paladin, level 20. I'm going to be honest, Mike built this for me, and I've been spending the last 20 minutes reading through all the details, trying to figure out how I'm going to play him. I've got some cool stuff going on. I'm pretty excited.
I definitely I have the insight because I wrote this adventure. I looked at the stat block and I was nice to you when I created your guy. I was like, this is going to help. So we'll see if it does.
All right. All
Uh,
right. We'll see.
and then Chris.
yeah. So yeah, my name's Chris. I'm in this session. I will be Raymond Truthfinder. and I am a level 20 rogue with the archetype of, I think it's Inquisition or something like that.
Inquisitive, I think.
Inquisitive, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to just stepping into a role I've never played before in D&D. Obviously, spinning up a level 20 character is always completely mental, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out.
You have played a rogue in the past, Legamore.
Yeah, but it's like level 4 and very early in my understanding of the game. But now, given the opportunity to build out a level 20 character, leads me with like plus 17 bonuses to some of my skills. So yeah,
If the name Legamore interests you, you can actually check out his origin story on the Arcane Eye website. If you search for Escape from Mount Baleful, it's a free adventure, and it's actually based off of Chris's first rogue character's backstory. But I digress. Russell.
Yeah, I'm Russell. My character is Jonathan Legendary. I'm a forest gnome. I'm a multi-class fighter level 2 and wizard level 18.
It's a power build right there. What race are you, Chris?
I'm an elf, but the subclass of the Shadakai.
Okay, nice. I feel like we have quite the like skinny party going up against Vecna. You know, like there's no like Goliaths or anything.
You give me a
Yeah.
halfling paladin. I mean, I've got some immunities and resistances, which I feel like are going to be really helpful. But
I used Tasha's origin stuff, so like you're able to bump up your strength and con and character creation. So he is a very stout halfling.
yes.
And did you build him as is there a challenge rating for, because weren't we originally going to have a fourth party member?
Yeah, so we typically have there's 5 of us on Tuesdays. Veronica is missing today. I have toned Vecna down, so we'll see how that goes. I'll probably discuss what happened, what changes I made to the stat block after the battle. We might get to it today. We might not. We kind of had to have a hard stop at about like 2 hours from now. So we should definitely get going if we want to get this stuff stored.
Let's do it.
So today's adventure brings you to Scientia Tower. Prior to its sudden disappearance, Scientia Tower was quite ordinary. Standing at 100 feet tall and 20 feet in diameter, this circular, unassuming tower was made of plain gray stone. The tower was home to 3 reclusive scholars that spent their time examining old tomes and artifacts that they had brought in from various libraries, archaeological expeditions, and hero-for-hire adventuring parties. Everybody didn't really pay attention to the scholars of Scientia Tower. They were reclusive. People thought they were pretty addled, really. They were just bringing in all of these boxes with seemingly no end to their research. Until one day, the tower just disappeared. That made academic institutions start to pay more attention to Scientia Tower, and after a couple months of research, they have found a way to go to its origins, or where it currently is, seeing as the institutions aren't really prepared for an endeavor that will take them who knows where. They have hired out a band of legendary adventurers, which are you guys. So with the promise of a huge pot of gold at the end of your journey, you guys are strutting up to this kind of clearing in a forest off of a dirt road, just in the middle of a countryside. Not really a noticeable place, but you know, you've been to more boring places in your time. As you approach, you can feel that there's like this tension in the air, and with you is one of the wizards from this academic faction, and you turn to look to him, and he says, all right, I can open up the portal here for you guys. I'm not going to be following you in, but if you can find out what happened to the researchers in the tower and stop whatever wrenched it out of the material plane, you'll get the agreed upon amount of money.
Raymond nods in approval and steps towards the portal.
All right.
Step back. Jonathan Legendary goes first.
Oh.
Raymond kind of gives you a look up and down. Well, he looks first to meet somebody in the eye, and then he takes a look down, and then he just kind of smirks and takes a step back and does as you bid him, and waits for you.
I readjust my kind of bright blue cloak and step into the portal.
Okay. So you step towards this like interesting fissure in the air almost, and then from behind you the wizard kind of like makes a parting motion, and you can see as you step through, or as he steps through, Jonathan just disappears. Are Endrick and Raymond following?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool. You guys step through. You feel like a bit of resistance as you like step through this planar portal, and you find yourself in. You're standing just on this empty plain. There's rock everywhere that you can see. Jagged rocks like stick, miles up into the air all around you, and you can see that like. There's a pool of water over to your right, and the pool of water blooms into roses, and then the roses catch fire, and then they're just gone, and it's just rock again. And you can start to feel this kind of unfettered chaos that's happening all around you. Things colliding in the air, like lightning bolts striking that don't produce any sound. You can start to feel this chaos pulling at you, and for anybody that's aware of it, you guys are in the realm of limbo. So you know that the realm of limbo is a fairly dangerous place to be, especially if you don't have protections against the chaotic magic. Luckily enough for you guys, you see the tower kind of like floating on a crooked angle right in front of you, and you can see circular, unassuming tower. Fits the description that you were provided by this academic faction, except for the fact that it is covered in black, writhing tentacles.
Nice.
Well, that doesn't seem like it's supposed to be doing that.
No, I don't remember that having tentacles on it before.
Unless Hadar has been hanging out doing his black tentacles.
That's true. I forgot about Adar. Bastard.
So yeah, as you sit there talking, you can feel the chaotic magic pulling at you more and more. You can see that like parts of your shoes, like this like leather on your shoe has like turned to stone, and you're starting to realize that. If you stand out,
we need to get moving.
Yeah, in the chaos for too long, it can start to transmorgify you.
I guess we start moving towards is it suspended in the air, surrounded by tentacles?
It's suspended in the air, but thankfully, Limbo doesn't have any gravity, and you can think yourself into the air and kind of traverse this tower, however you want to do it.
You're saying we can wish ourselves there?
Yeah, you have to believe that you can fly. Isn't that how Peter Pan flies?
Well, I'm going to fly immediately. I'm just have a little I'm going to float up to the level of the others, or at least the tallest party member. So I'm eye line.
Endrick is just going to start walking up an imaginary set of stairs towards the tower.
Oh, perfect. I love it.
Just like one foot in front of the other, like slowly rising up into the sky.
Endrick did go to mime school, right?
Roughly how far is the tower?
It's like within 30 feet of you. Like you're just kind of like
Oh,
looking up at it as it kind of like tilts on its skewed axis.
Yeah, I guess I'll just float myself over and enjoy the ride.
Cool. So tell me how you're approaching this tower.
Kind of like,
Yeah, but what are you doing as you up to the tower?
I don't make that noise because as always I do it rather stealthily. Um, but yeah, I imagine I float over like 0 G.
Oh,
Um,
I'm gonna look. Can I see everything that I'm looking at? Like, can I see the tower in general? Or does it feel like is there windows or anything like that I'm seeing?
As you look closely, you can see that the highest concentration of tentacles are around windows and doors, so you cannot see into the tower.
Can I make I guess, like, insight or maybe like religion or arcana check or something about the tentacles? Are they about the nature of them? Like, are they unholy or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and make me. Actually, you can use divine sense if you want, and you automatically. I think you get like 5 uses. I did create your character today, so I know how things go. But I think you get like 5 uses, and you can tell if something kind of pings your bad.
I can sense if anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet. But that's not going to necessarily do anything to it.
Yeah, so then go ahead and make me. You could go insight if you want to detect more about like the tentacle's purpose.
That's a 3.
Okay.
If it's insight.
Yeah, so you like kind of like step up to them. You don't get super close, being black writhing tentacles and all. You can see, like, just with your eyes, you don't even have to make an insight check for this, that like they're just like slithering like a barrel full of eels. Like, it's not like there's any like they're not like following you or anything like that. It's just like these things are here for some reason other than to be sentient.
Interesting.
So I think Raymond's going to call out, we'll say to you guys kind of quietly as we're sneakily floating over, should we just go like right to the top and look for a way in through the roof, or should we try and go in through the more traditional door?
I like to do things properly, so I kind of wanted to start at the front door, but I mean, Endrick sort of scratches his head. He's like, gross tentacles. Like, what? Do I just like smite them and get them out of here? Like, I feel like that's probably as good as anything.
It depends. I like observe the door. What's obstructing it? Like one big ass like 2-foot thick tentacle, or like a bunch of little ones, or like, what's the deal?
You see a bunch of little ones. You would imagine though that like they could be cut through.
That's what I was imagining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which out of us can best swing a blade on the?
Endrick raises Lightbringer in his fist, and the symbol on it glows, which he hopes will do bonus damage to these tentacles. But that's based on a 3 insight, so he's probably wrong. But he's going to take a swipe at the tentacles in the door with his holy mace.
Go ahead and make an attack.
That's a natural 1.
That's a natural 1. What is the total attack?
It's 12 to hit.
Oh, right, but that's a
natural 1 is a critical fail.
So you kind of like call your holy symbol on Lightbringer. It starts to like glow with a golden light. You raise it up, and as you step forward, a tentacle shoots out and tries to grab you before you can swing. So go ahead and make me a strength saving throw.
Okay, that's fine. I will do that. That's a 16.
That's a 16. So it kind of like grabs your arm, and you're able to like just pull your arm back, but that you don't follow through with your attack because you crit fumbled, so that's how we'll say it happened. But you can tell that, when you get close to these tentacles, they are going to try to grab you.
Can I see, is there gaps between the tentacles, or are they just like a really thick, writhing mess? Can I
Gaps
see slightly building?
in like the window, or gaps in like what's the
through the door, that we were looking at, that Endrix was about to hack down. Are there gaps? Can I see through to like a hallway or anything?
Make me a investigation check. 21. As one of the tentacles reaches out and grabs or tries to grab Endrick, you are able to catch a glimpse inside. You don't see much other than darkness and stone floor.
Can I cast Arcane Eye?
Let's go.
I think I'm gonna have to let you, because that's the namesake of my website and thus this stream. So yeah, go ahead and cast Arcane Eye.
Hey, I do.
Okay. So you're casting it inside the tower.
Yeah, I just want to be able to take a look. Inside the tower. So. Yeah.
Which has normal vision and dark vision up to 30 feet. Okay, so you you kind of you don't go blind. You can still see. It's not like when you're seeing through a familiar or anything like that. So you just kind of see this picture in your head of a dark room, pitch black. Even though you have dark vision, it is pitch black, except for you look down, stone floor in about a 5 radius space. You can see is lit from some unseeable source. And then across the room, you can see that there's another door that is lit from an unseeable source. And between those two doors is just pitch black darkness.
Okay, I'm going to keep Arcane Eye going for now. I'll just keep it lingering around.
Cool.
Okay. I asked the two of you, can either of you conjure fire of any kind? Maybe we can use that to burn away the tentacles, also to light the room.
I sort out my coat again, and I firebolt.
Cool. Make me an attack roll.
So that is 18.
Cool. And roll damage.
Is 27.
27. You see the firebolt splashes fire all over the door, impacts, and the tentacles kind of wither away from the door, and you are just presented with an open door. Or not an open door, a door that is revealed, free of tentacles.
I try to open the door.
Door opens.
Let's go inside.
Is it still completely pitch black inside?
It is still completely pitch black inside.
Then, I mean, should we just jump in? I don't know. I look. Clearly, Raymond is confused. He looks at the other two members of this party.
I'm assuming I don't see. I have dark vision. I do not see as well.
Yeah, you do not see as well.
Is Endrick right in assuming that there doesn't seem to be the same kind of chaotic eruptions happening inside that there are in the space of limbo that we're currently in?
Endrick is correct.
Endrick's going inside.
Cool.
We can't stick around out here. There's no explosions or random shit, lightning bolts happening in there. We'll confront whatever's inside, but I don't want to turn into stone out here.
Well, sounds like a plan, Stan. And he gets inside.
Jonathan?
Oh yeah, I'm strutting in.
Cool.
Strutting in hell.
So
Yeah.
all three of you guys can just barely fit in this patch of light, in this otherwise pitch black room, apart from the light across the room. The door kind of closes behind you, which is funny because like it was pretty much silent outside except for your footprints on like the gravel and everything like that. But as you get inside, it's even more silent. You know, the silence almost hurts your ears. That just all you can hear is the breathing and shifting of your party members.
Can we see anything in this light source? Like, or can we see the light source? And does it cast any shadow or anything like that anywhere?
Cast shadow. Like if you move your hand, you can see that it's casting a shadow on the ground. You cannot see the source of the light. It just seems like, you know, it almost seems like it would be a spotlight from above you. But you look up and it's just pitch black.
It's really tempting to cast Dispel Magic, but I realize we'll be completely in the black if it works. So,
Depends on which magic you manage to dispel, I guess, right?
Yeah, is it? I'm gonna see. Maybe this will work. I'm gonna use my. Where is it? I have some sort of seeing thing as well. Bastards, come on. I've got an unerring eye. Can sense the presence of illusions, shape changes, and other magic designed to deceive the senses within 30 feet.
The darkness is not an illusion. It is very much. Can darkness be an illusion? Shit, we should probably just talk about, is darkness just an illusion for the next hour?
Is darkness real, or is it just the absence of light, man?
You can see time in front of you because time is an illusion, man.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the bonus episode on our Patreon. Subscribe.
$1,000 a month subscriber.
For the philosophy podcast, metaphysics, all that good stuff.
D&D philosophy.
Yeah. Endrick would like to activate his winged boots, and basically just move up a little ways off the floor, and then just start like walking across the open space towards the door he can see.
Again with that mind stuff, I love it. So
he's a halfling. He's got to be more into it.
Showy
getting
than
up.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
So you are going to walk across the blackness, and if nothing stops
I'm gonna start moving. Like, I want to see what happens if I start walking, and if there's any sort of like the ground falling away. Like, that's me using winged boots to start.
I really appreciate your caution here. So you kind of float up about 5 feet, and you begin walking across. You walk into the dark.
Looking below me, does a spotlight follow me where I'm walking?
No.
Or is it completely dark?
So you exit the light. You can see the light and your party members standing behind you. You can see the door in front of you, but you look down at your hands, you can't see anything.
If I'm illuminating the head of Lightbringer, is that
I'm going to
creating
say,
light?
Make me a religion check. This is essentially using your no, I'll say charisma check. So essentially make a check with your spellcasting modifier, to see how powerful your oath is, and if you can cause it to burn through the darkness.
With my spellcasting modifier.
Yeah, so that would be charisma.
Okay.
I think it's just a charisma check, essentially.
+4?
Yeah.
Okay. That's an 11.
You look down and you close your eyes and you're like, oh, Lightbringer, bring me light. You can see it for one quick second, then it gets snuffed right out.
Okay.
So I would say that based on this experiment, you can tell that this magic can be overcome by this darkness can be overcome by a sufficiently powerful magical source of light.
It's just going to be a story about God.
I'm just trying to convert you guys to Christianity throughout this entire adventure.
Okay, what did we all see in the brief seconds that we had light in the room?
He got enough light to see like maybe down to his legs, and then it just died in a second.
All right. Okay, so Endrick is still going to keep walking across, and he's just doing like a firefly impression. And I'm not talking about the show, I'm talking about the tiny little bugs where their butts light up every once in a while. Like every once in a while, he's just going to really try to light up Lightbringer again, and it's probably just going to like flare for half a second and then fizzle out again. So that's sort of where.
So you watch as the whoom of Endrick's mace gets fainter and fainter. It doesn't really take that long for you to get across. It's like 30 feet or so. And you enter the light at the other end of the room.
Great. Does anything wild happen?
No.
Okay. Is there anything, looking around, is there anything that I can like access over here to like maybe get rid of all the darkness or something?
There's a door.
You guys coming over here, or what's going on?
Right. Yeah. I guess I'll carefully walk over.
Yeah, I'll head towards the light.
Before you guys can head over there, you hear like a scuttling that appears to be coming from the roof or the ceiling of this room, and I'm gonna have everybody roll me initiative.
Oh, good. Okay, great. This is...
I'm just trying to set this up. Wait. Manage characters, die, Vecna, die, character. The heck? Okay, cool. Run encounter. Perfect. So, have you guys rolled initiative?
Yeah.
Legendary. What'd you get?
20.
20. Raymond?
5.
5?
Yeah, you're not used to me getting that low.
Yeah.
Initiative.
And then Endrick.
3.
3. Oh, yikes.
Well, I guess it's up
Yeah,
to
you thought
Jonathan
you had the
Legendary.
bad initiative roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're kind of like, hey, there's nothing over here. Are you guys coming? You hear like as something like kind of hits the ground, and what you can tell is it has dropped from the ceiling down into the middle of the room. You still can't see anything. I'm going to pull up, Chris, if you could share your roll 20, I will get the map going. So that is essentially what you guys can see.
Cool. And
I'll zoom in.
The sound we heard, was that just one thing?
Seeing as it is your turn, I can say that you can make a perception check and see if you can determine that.
Well,
you can't tell. It sounds like somebody. You know how like you roll a bunch of dice and you can't really tell how many dice were rolled? It sounds almost identical to that. It's just clattering.
okay. Well, as it's my turn, Jonathan is going to use his legendary courage and go invisible. I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
I feel like Jonathan Legendary is very Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Gilderoy Lockhart was actually a powerful wizard,
yeah,
that's what I'm hoping.
And I am going to try to sneak towards. Well, I'm just going to move towards the door.
Okay. So you step into the darkness, and you immediately run. And actually, I'm gonna say, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
Two.
Two. You immediately run into what feels like a bunch of rotted crates. You kind of like step through some rotted wood. You hear some things like kind of clattering and spilling on the ground. And you imagine that you have made quite the entrance for yourself. And I'm going to reveal this area just so like you guys know where things are in general in the future for this encounter. Is there anything else in your turn?
No.
Cool.
Okay.
So then this thing is going to, Endrick, you can just hear it streaking towards you. As you stand in the light, you know, your hand on Dawnbringer, you're looking around wildly to see where this thing's going to come at you from. And then a bony claw just whoosh, strikes out of the darkness. And it's going to be a... that is a 24 to hit, but he rolls with advantage.
That hits.
So 24 to hit, and then that is 10 slashing damage. And then the second claw attack will be a 20 to hit.
20 does not hit.
And then you see this like bony tail kind of whooshing, dart in out of the darkness as well. And that is going to be, didn't roll great, 13 plus 8 is 21 to hit.
That meets.
Okay, so then that is 10 piercing damage. And then give me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. That's a 19.
Cool. So you pass. So you are not poisoned, but you still take 20 poison damage.
Okay, but I've got resistance to poison, so that's
10 damage.
Right? Okay. And sorry, the first hit was
there was two claw slashing damage. Well, there's slashing for 10, piercing for 10, and then poison for 10.
Okay, so a total of 30 damage. Okay.
All right, so then that is onto Raymond's turn.
Cool.
And Raymond, you can see like it's like this weird kind of effect where you can see like Endrick trying to like fend off whatever's attacking him, but you just can't see what it is.
Okay. So I'm gonna it's not even something I use, it's just something I have where I have blind sense. So as long as I'm able to hear, I'm aware of the location of any hidden or invisible creature within 10 feet of me. So I assume that would cover something that was covered by like...
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So does that light up any guys on my mini map as far as I'm concerned?
No, you can tell that there's nothing within 10 feet of you.
Okay. I'm going to... I think I'll just move... I think I'm just going to move up into... Seeing as I can't see anything to attack, right?
Yeah, so you would know that like that whatever it is has to be fairly close to Endrick.
Yeah, all right. That's what I was gonna do. Just like kind of make my way into the abyss. Is my movement inhibited at all by not being able to see, or can I just?
No, yeah, you have full movement.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like stick myself in here. Does my blind sense light up anyone on my minimap this time?
Yeah, so it lights up a single creature. The creature is probably 10 feet tall. By your sense, it seems to be like this like skinny, lanky creature with a tail of some sort.
Cool. And is it within 5 or 10 feet of me?
It's within 5 feet of you. You can tell it's right next to you.
Yeah, I just do like a sideshow Bob shudder. And then
A rake hits you in the face.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just I still have my action, so like I'll
Stab.
yeah, I think I'll like I have a short sword. It's not super effective, but I might as well have a crack.
Do it up.
It's sheathed, and in an unsheathing action, I swing my blade up at the 10-foot tall creature.
Cool. So you don't have disadvantage on your attack, which most people would because you can actually see him. So yeah, go ahead and make your attack. And this would constitute a sneak attack because you have Endrick within 5 feet of it.
That's so fucking awesome. Because sneak attack just happens to be my character's favorite.
You have to make your attack first. I'm not sure if it seems like you're rolling a lot of d6s and you haven't rolled the d20 yet.
I didn't. Fuck. Sorry. We have not so long since I played 5e.
So used to just rolling 3d6 for everything.
Yeah, we are coming off a stint of the Expanse RPG, which we'll probably stream at some point.
So that's 16.
16 is gonna miss.
Oxagon. I mean, damn it. Oh.
Anything else in your turn, Raymond?
No.
Does Raymond have a like a dagger or anything? Because you can offhand attack with your bonus action.
Oh, can I? I didn't see that in my character sheet as I build it out.
Yeah, that's just a thing anybody can do. If you have like a short sword in one hand and a dagger in the other, you can bonus action attack.
No, let's move on.
Cool. Endrick, your turn.
I've also got a lot of spells, which I'm just discovering. Let's see here.
Any attack, melee, spell, ranged, whatever, will have disadvantage, seeing as you cannot see this creature. I would say that on your turn, if you wanted to use an action to try to light your mace up again, you can, but it will require a full action.
Full action?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh dear God. New characters. This is so.
New characters that you didn't build, that you started reading 20 minutes ago, that are level 20.
That are level 20. Yeah, this is going to be a... Okay, I think I'm going to cast Wrathful Smite.
Okay. So, yeah, that's kind of like a bonus action that you take, and then you make an attack.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make your attack.
First attack, so I get 2 attacks per action. So go ahead. And that's a first level spell slot, so I'm moving that. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a 24 to hit.
That's with disadvantage?
Oh, God damn it. Ah, that's a 21 to hit.
Nice. Okay, you do hit.
Okay, excellent. So now, Paladins do ridiculous amounts of damage. They get to add all kinds of dice for random reasons.
Yeah, it's like you get
improved
divine
smite. So I've got 1d8 radiant. Does that maybe do more against him? We're going to discover that. I do 1d6 plus 5. And it says this weapon glows bright as a torch when its wielder commands. It doesn't say that it takes an action or anything for me to command it to be glowing.
I'm saying that this magical darkness is so oppressive.
Sure. So it can't glow and do light, but can it have the extra damage?
Yeah, I'll say it can have the extra damage.
Okay. Is this an undead creature?
It is an undead creature.
Okay, that's an extra 1d6. All right, here we go. Rolling damage. Not too great. It's 15 damage.
Okay, and that was 1d6 plus 5, then 2d8 for damage.
And my
then,
second attack misses.
And what do you do with Wrathful Smite?
Wrathful Smite was... Oh, God, did I not even add that damage?
Yeah, that's an extra 1d6 of psychic damage.
1d6.
Yeah, paladins are ridiculous. If the target is a creature, must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or be frightened as an action.
That was the point. That was the thing that I was more interested in.
Okay, so then he's going to make a wisdom save.
Wisdom saving throw.
He got a 5, so he is frightened of you. That means that he cannot... I'm actually just going to have to look up the frightened condition. Has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within its line of sight. Cannot willingly move closer to its source of fear. Okay. Is that the end of your turn, Enric?
Yes, and I'm just going to mention that I do have a trait called Purity of Faith, I think.
Okay.
Purity of Spirit. I'm always under the effects of a protection from evil and good spell, which means that all of this thing's attacks and have to be with disadvantage against me anyways to begin with.
Oh, damn.
So the attacks you made last turn against me should have all been with disadvantage.
So
but, I didn't know about that. We're not going to worry about it. We'll just keep going from here, I think.
So protection from evil and good is... Does that include undead?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll say that you can take back...
Aberration,
because so he wouldn't have disadvantage. He would have just been attacking normally. Because he had advantage on the attacks, so it would have just been a normal attack rather than disadvantage. I'll say that you can gain 15 HP back.
Cool.
All right, that's back up to Legendary.
All right. My Arcane Eye is going to disappear as I cast Bigby's Hand.
Okay.
As close as I can get it to where I think the bad guy is.
Cool.
So I'm right on the light.
And then what would you like to do with Bigby's Hand?
So Bigby's Hand, I create a large hand of shimmering translucent force in an unoccupied space that I can see within range, and it lasts for the spell's duration. Bigby's Hand is going to appear, and it's going to use Grasping Hand. The hand attempts to grapple a huge or smaller creature within 5 feet of it. If you use the hand strength score, to resolve the grapple.
Okay.
If the target is medium or smaller, I have advantage.
It is not medium or smaller. So go ahead and make a strength check for the hand, which I believe is a +8. Wow. And then this thing's strength is... I got a 12.
I got 20.
Okay, so this thing is grappled.
Yeah, Bigby's Hand.
Okay, so that was your...
I'm going to move.
bonus action you can move.
Yeah. Oh, was my bonus action commanding it? My bonus action.
So your bonus action, your bonus action is commanding it.
Okay, cool. You're done.
All right. So actually, I'm going to reveal this little stretch because this is what. That's what Raymond would have seen. Okay, so then this creature is grappled. He's also frightened of Enric, but he can't use his speed to move away, but that doesn't matter because it just affects if you can get closer or not. So he's going to stay put. I think he's just going to go ahead and start making attacks on Raymond because he can get an even attack on that. So the first claw is going to be a 12 to hit. And then a 25 to hit.
Yeah, so that the 12 meets and the 25 doubles and exceeds.
You have a 12 AC in a level 20 adventure? That is not good. And then his sting is also going to be a 25. So then damage for everything is...
Bring it on.
8 slashing, 5 slashing, 7, 13, 17 piercing, and then, so that's 8, 16, 34, and then 8, 12, 16, 17 poison damage.
I was trying to keep up, but you started fucking around in the middle a bit. Tell me what
it was 16 slashing damage, 17 piercing damage, and then 17 poison damage. So that is 50 damage all said and done.
Nice.
Nice indeed. Okay. And then I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
I have some sort of saving throw thing.
You also get a +4, I think, from my Aura of Protection, or do I have to?
Ooh.
Yeah, well,
You do.
Yeah.
yeah, I just give it +4
So
on it.
I get Constitution saving throw 17.
That's going to pass. So you are not poisoned, but that is the end of the Bone Devil's turn. It is now your turn, Raymond.
All right, cool. I'm gonna. Yeah, I guess I'll try for another attack. While I have short sword in hand still,
Cool.
I swing out at him and reach with a mighty 17.
17 is going to miss.
God.
Does anything happen because he's grappled? I don't think so.
We
Do you not have
just get
advantage or
clapped
something?
by the guy in the first room. Didn't even get to Vecna.
This guy is CR 9, so I really don't hope. I really hope it doesn't. The condition ends if the grappler. No. So yeah, you don't get any advantage or anything. Any bonus actions or movement this turn?
Bonus actions. I'm going to. No, actually, I'm just gonna. Can I disengage from a bonus action?
You
Like,
can because of your cunning action. So you can disengage as a bonus action, then move away.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna move into this startable spot here.
Okay. So then that is Enric's turn.
Enric's turn.
Enric's like, we're all gonna fucking die here in the first goddamn room.
Enric is going to swing. I think he's just gonna swing.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
Don't. I need to see him for that one. Oh, it'll be so fun though. Oh well. Can't see him. With disadvantage though.
Yep.
Okay, does a 20 hit?
A 20 hits.
Yes. Okay. Do 8 damage.
Plus 1d8 from So
That was plus 1d8.
and then plus another 1d8 because he's undead.
I'm doubling the dice total as opposed to. I don't think that holy damage is doubled against undead.
So you do.
I just looked that up.
You do 1d6 damage for Lightbringer.
Oh, it's another d6 from Lightbringer that I add to that. Sorry. So 8 plus 6. Hey, 14.
Okay. This guy is almost barely hurt.
Jesus.
One
more attack.
One
with
more attack.
Yeah. That's a 13. I miss.
Okay. Back up to Jonathan Legendary.
So I can.
I would like to do a bonus action Shield of Faith on.
Cool.
Myself. To bump my AC up to 23.
Perfect. Jonathan.
So I can move my Big D's hand up to 60. I think 60 feet,
yep.
And then cause one of the following effects.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to try and fuck this guy off out the door. I'm just gonna take him outside, and then I'm gonna use my grasping hand to give him a squish, which crushes.
So
him.
I will say that before we get to anything, you can move your Big B's hand 30 feet. You can move half distance when he's grappling, which is enough to get him to the door. So you can give him a squish if you would like.
That moves him away from the melee people. I'll just give him a yeah. I'll give him a squish.
Okay, give him a squish. That is I don't think it's any save or anything. Bludgeoning damage equals 2d6 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Okay, so that is 8.
8 damage.
Squishing damage.
8 squishing damage. And then
that was that was a bonus action.
Yeah.
So as a action, I'll just firebolt him.
Okay. You cannot see him, so you have disadvantage on the attack.
Okay. $23.
23 hits.
That's going to be 29 damage.
So you see a bolt of fire streak across. You can see it like essentially as soon as it leaves your hands, you don't see it at all. Enric, you can. I guess Raymond would see this, but Enric can also kind of see it from his perspective. That something at least hits this creature, but nothing seems to happen. And then that is the Bone Devil's turn. He is. So this will be an effective lesson learned for Raymond, at least, to learn about reach. But this thing has a 10-foot reach. So he is going to go ahead and make 3. Actually, I'll say that he will make his claw attacks against Enric, and then he'll try to sting Raymond with his sting. So claw attacks are coming at disadvantage to you, Enric.
Okay.
Shout out to the 2 crew on that one. And then lowest is a 10 plus 8 is 18. So he's going to miss you on the 2 claws. Enric, he's going to take this one straight up and down against you. That's a 16 to hit.
Why is he not disadvantaged on that? He's still within eyesight of me, and he's frightened.
Oh, sorry. This is against Raymond.
Right, but it doesn't say that he's...
He has disadvantage on all attacks. Well, you're within the target line of the sight. Gotcha. Okay. So then we'll probably... Raymond, I'll say add 20 HP to your pool because I forgot to attack with disadvantage last turn. And then this is the disadvantage attack. He got 16 last attack, and now he got a 19. So he's still going to hit. And then he's going to do 5 piercing and 19 poison, and then make me a Constitution saving throw and add +4.
Whatever your normal plus is.
Was any of that for me? My screen froze for a bit.
Oh, yes. So you took 28 points of damage, but I'll say you can bump 20 HP back because I forgot to attack you with disadvantage last turn. I do want to... I know that these are new characters and everybody's still getting used to them. So I thought I would mention a rogue feature called...
Right.
Uncanny Dodge. So when an attacker attacker that you can see this attacker because you have blind sight, hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to half the attack's damage against you.
Oh shit! Yeah, I skipped over that one, so I can use that. Doesn't even have a limit to it. I can just keep
use that every turn. So
it's a reaction, so it's like once per round.
Yeah,
I think.
But yeah, there's only one bad guy right now. So
yeah, so you're actually only going to take 17 damage, and then you're going to heal for 20 damage because I fucked up last time. So heal for 3 damage, I guess. This is all very confusing.
yeah, I already put in some numbers based on what you said earlier.
Do whatever feels right. You guys are dead anyways.
Feeling right would be an additional 60 hit points.
Raymond Truthfinder, it is in fact your turn.
Cool. So yeah, I'm feeling like a useless bastard with my short sword, and I don't know if I'm technically allowed to do this, but I hope so. Without it costing me actions and such, I would like to sheathe my short sword, whip out my dragon wing longbow, and loose a.
I will certainly allow that. Cool.
So yeah, that's exactly what I do. I raise up my gun. That's in the 20s for sure. That's a 17 plus 6 is 23.
Okay, that definitely hits. What damage does your bow do? You can choose from.
Oh yeah, so I think I had to decide what it is from the get-go, and I think I landed on necrotic.
I would say don't choose necrotic or poison. As the DM, I'm going to be your homie here.
That's fair.
Also, don't do cold.
I was just about to say, all right, I'll do ice damage. What a dick. What does that leave you with? Lightning?
Lightning, force, radiant, thunder.
Yeah.
I'm sure like almost nothing has force resistance.
Yeah, force is like the best damage type, pretty much.
And what's the other one? Psychological damage or whatever?
Yes.
Psychic?
Yeah, you just traumatize the people with arrows.
Yeah, no one's resistant to that.
Then I took it out of the knee.
I'm gonna go with lightning damage. I just.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. And yeah, lightning will be fine for this.
So he'll take 4, regular longbow arrow damage.
Okay.
Wait, I think I'm rolling a D. Sorry, guys. I'm rolling a D6 here, and I should be rolling a D8.
I've been doing the same thing of like, wait a second, this is how my character works.
It seems like this is the first time we've ever played D&D, and we just said at the beginning of the show that we played D&D for like 4 years leading up to this.
It's just been a small hiatus for the last months or so.
And to be honest though, I have not played that much with level 20 characters.
Right. Yeah, I think we only played one encounter really
big step. Yeah. So that's it. Instead, that's 5 regular bow damage, and then an additional 5. What did I say? Lightning.
Lightning, and you can use your sneak attack.
Oh, cool.
Whoop, whoop.
Incoming.
How many dicks is that? That's going to be like 8.
No, my sneak attack is 10 dicks.
Oh my goodness.
If I use my insightful fighting to gain the sneak attack, I can also add an additional 3 dicks, but I didn't do that this time.
Okay.
That is 32.
Okay. We're starting to make some progress here.
32 on top of the original
Cool.
other numbers I gave you.
All right,
Sure.
so as you finally are like, why am I fighting this thing in melee? You disengage from it, you pull back your dragon rope, it crackles with electricity, you loose it and sinks into this thing and just lets a shriek, and you can tell that you hit home real nice and that this thing is now hurt. Enric, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to Enric calls out as a free action on his turn, and is this still grabbed by the big bee's hand?
Yep.
Move him further away from Raymond. He can still reach him from here. And then I'm going to take 2 swings, I guess. Is this still with disadvantage?
Still with disadvantage.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right. Ooh, a 20 to hit
That
on the lower
hits.
one. All right, so that's 2d6 plus 1d8, and that is just flat. Do I want to just smite his ass?
You do get an extra D8 when you smite undead.
Yeah, I'm gonna smite him. Let's do a second spell smite. Second level smite.
So that's 5 extra D8, I think. It's 2D8 and then 3D8, 4D8. So 4D8 plus a D8 plus 2D6.
So okay, I have my basic. I'm adding 48 to what I already had.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Great.
Yeah, but then dividing it by pi.
Yeah, and then you find the root, the square root of the sum, and then you.
I hate you all. All right, 11, and then here comes the 48. 2 1s. I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
I think it was 31 damage.
Okay. So with a crack of light, you can see Enric drives a divine smite into this being, and in the light you can see that this is just like this huge creature that's looming over you, very skeletal, elongated neck and chest and arms, and yeah, it looks like this giant fucked up skeleton kind of thing. You get your second attack.
Okay. That is a 28 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
And I just do normal damage at this, I guess.
Yep.
Which is still 2d6 and 1d8. And that's going to be 15 damage.
15 damage. Okay, this thing, you kind of crack into it twice. And you can see, like, you can feel bones getting hit out as you sink your mace into this thing's body. It kind of like falls down to one knee and then like starts to slowly push itself back up, even though it's being grappled by Jonathan's Big B's hands. And speaking of Jonathan, it is now his turn.
I'm gonna use my big boy hand and I'm gonna follow Endrick's request and move it away from Raymond.
Okay.
In a direction also away from me. So I'm guessing probably if we were moving it somewhere, it'd be sort of in this direction.
Okay. How many spaces do you want to move it? 1, 2, How many feet?
Yeah, I'll move it 10 feet. Well, I'd like to keep it still within reach of Endrick, but out of reach of Raymond.
You could move it up, move it to the right 5 feet, and then up 5 feet, and you'll probably achieve your goal.
That sounds perfect. And then I'm going to give it a squish.
Cool. So go ahead and roll 2d6 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Well, hopefully it's better this time. That is a 12.
Okay. You, as you kind of like compress your hand, you can feel the, like, you know, it's weird. You can like feel this creature through your hand by using your big beast hand, and you can just feel it fucking splinter like dry wood, and the bones clatter to the ground, and then you can suddenly see, you know, the light from the room burns your eyes as everything goes pitch black. And then Tiamat swoops from the sky.
Oh no!
And
in limbo,
you can see that where this thing had collapsed into a pile of loose bones, the bones are kind of like melding together and coalescing, but also shrinking. And you can see that eventually this pile of bones turns into what looks like a severed hand. Severed arm. We'll say it's like an arm at the elbow.
Is it moving?
No.
Either way, I'm going to become I'm become visible again, and I'm going to walk up to the rest of the group. Say,
I do think unless.
Am I going to feel? I was not invisible anymore.
Yeah, I think that as soon as you cast spells and stuff.
You're right. I'm going to walk up to the rest of the group and say, am I going to have to kill everybody myself?
It was a team effort, I believe. Enric just sort of shoulders his mace and then like turns to walk through the next door.
I'm going to give the hand a little kick.
Yeah, you kick it and it kind of like squelches wetly on the ground. So Enric, you turn around and you see a closed door, just like typical stone door, wooden handle.
This time, okay, I'm gonna try and open the door, I guess. Like, let's just start with basic.
Start with the basic stuff. This is the easiest thing that you can do. Okay.
If the doors are trapped in this dungeon you've made for us, Mike,
you take 12 necrotic damage. You touch the door, and you just feel a zap of life-sapping energy kind of like jolt through your hand. Make me a Constitution saving throw that you can add +4 to.
That's a nat 20.
Cool. So you don't get your hit point maximum reduced by 17, or by the damage that you took, which was 12. But you can tell that this door has some kind of evil energy running through it, and that you don't want to touch it with your hand again.
In the 20 or so seconds I probably have Big B left for, I'm going to say, Big B, door, and command it to punch the door as its kind of final thing it can probably do before it runs out of its minute worth of casting time.
It slams into the door with a resounding but nothing.
Do we see any kind of like keyhole or anything?
There's no
Edric goes
keyhole.
and picks up the hand that's on the ground. Fucking just chucks it at the door.
You chuck it at the door, and it just kind of like latches on to the handle, and you go to open the door with your hand on the arm of this arm, and the door swings open.
Yeah, all right.
Nice.
We solved the puzzle.
Yay! Didn't even need to make an investigation check. Let's go.
So you guys ascend the stairs and come to a living space that's kind of a bit larger than the previous floor, which is weird. This is just an unobtrusive stone tower on the outside, but on the inside it looks like everything was magically enlarged in some sense.
inside.
Yeah, you see plain wooden furniture is strewn around the common area between two wooden doors. Beyond the common area is a small, disorganized library with bookshelves that reach from floor to ceiling. Weirdly enough, you see dead leaves scattered on the floor of the library. So,
is this the place we've entered in Roll20 or?
Oh yeah, I'll switch you guys over. You guys have no imagination.
How long have the leaves been there? Does it look like, are they like super desiccated and like old, or is it like
they're dead leaves? Like, I'm not sure. Like, they're not like rotting or anything, but like you would imagine that if you walked over and stepped on a leaf, that they would be crunchy.
okay, but crunchy, not just like mulching, you know? So these leaves have not been here that long.
Yes.
Or
maybe time stands still. You don't know. So you guys have appeared at the foot of this stairwell. I'll bring your guys over. But yeah, what do you do?
Enric is learning his lesson and becoming a better paladin as he goes along, and so he's going to divine sense.
And you're sensing for undead within 60 feet? Or
celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. Also anything affected by the hallow spell, but I doubt that exists here.
Give me 1 second. You do not detect anything.
Okay, well, this place seems to be relatively safe for now, although there could still be traps. What seems to be, what do you think is the best path forward here?
I guess I might scan around, looking around the room. I guess we look into these couple of rooms that we can't see into, and maybe check out what's on that table over there.
Cool. Are you going right or left room?
The room closest to where we all are.
Okay. Do you lead the way?
Yeah, I'll have a look this time. I investigate the door before touching it.
I'm not going to make you roll anything. This is a regular door.
Cool. I'm still suspicious of it, but
yeah. As you touch the door, you take 73
12 necrotic damage.
Gotcha, bitch. So you head into this room. Also, I just want to point out that you're using the Lanavar elves Magic the Gathering art on your character, so we're probably going to be sued by Wizards for using this on stream.
No, I got special permission.
Oh, right. Good. So you enter the room, and you see an unmade bed large enough for 2 people sits in the corner of the room. A simple wooden wardrobe, desk, and basin of water complete the barren furnishings of this chamber. Beside a candle that is burnt down to its nub, a small journal sits on the desk. A bottle of ink appears to have spilt its contents on the journal, covering it in a black, shiny ink.
Right. Is that just what I generally perceive from like scanning the room with my eyes when I walk in? Like if I like poke around the room and investigate further, is there like
if there are things that interest you, you can certainly go look at them and figure out more about those certain items.
Yeah, I guess I'll start with the ink-soaked journal because it's the main thing I can remember.
So, that's the only thing. The notoriously bad memory of Chris strikes again.
No, my characters, I build them all that way. It's a quirk I enjoy giving all of my characters.
Right.
Yeah.
They've all suffered massive concussions in the past. So the journal is lying on the desk. You can see that, like, I'm picturing a book, and the rightmost page is kind of like the most recent entry, and the leftmost section is just covered in ink. So as you like kind of flip back through the pages, you can see that they're all just soaked in ink. You can't really read them. But the latest entry says, Aiden no longer sleeps in our bed. Each night he roams around the tower reading books, but more often than not goes to the observatory and stares at the black gate on the far wall. It appeared just a few days ago, but we can't divine any information on it. I once convinced him to retire to bed, and he was racked by a pain behind his left eye throughout the night. Now he sleeps fitfully during the day. He says that night is the time to uncover secrets.
Huh. I feel like the important detail in that was probably there's like a black gate to the rear or something.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it mentions that there's an observatory that has a black gate on the far wall, and judging by what you know about observatories, those are usually on the top floor.
Right. Okay.
Whilst he's doing this, I'm just going to wander over to this, what looks like a kind of library section. And I'm going to see if there's any books about me.
Okay. So you wander over, and so you start just like flipping through some books.
Well, I'm just pulling them out. Yeah, just looking at them. Nope. Nope. Nope.
But you haven't opened any books yet.
If they don't say Jonathan Legendary on the front, then I'm just kind of tossing it.
Make me a D100 roll. And if you roll 100, there will be a book about Jonathan Legendary.
Hell yes.
What about 33?
33, you go through the entire library. It's cramped shelves packed with old rotting tomes, newly bound books, loose sheets of parchment, and tightly wound scrolls. You go over to the chairs that have just like various documents strewn across the table. You can't find anything that says Jonathan Legendary.
These guys know nothing.
There's no information of use here.
Raymond, are you doing anything else in this room?
Remind me of the items that I saw that weren't diary.
You see a simple wooden wardrobe, desk, basin of water, candle burnt down to its nubs, small journal sits on the desk, and then an unmade bed.
All right. I will. Is the dresser like it's? I guess it's just drawers. There's not going to be anyone in it.
Yeah, it's a wardrobe, so like.
All right, I'll open the wardrobe then.
You find Narnia.
Yeah, there's a lion, a witch, and a wardrobe inside the wardrobe.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. You open it. You see that there are like sets of female and male clothes.
Cool. I'm just gonna stroll out and just announce to the others that.
As you stroll out, make me a perception check. This is before you exit the door.
So I begin to stroll out, and before I exit the door, my perception and powers are somewhere in the realm of 22.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see a twitch under the bed sheets. It's up kind of by the pillow, like the covers are kind of like pulled all over the bed, and where the covers meet the pillow on the right side of the bed, you just see like a small twitch.
Interesting. So I continue to walk out of the room, and I just say, so yeah, looks like this room's clear, and then I stroll silently over to Legendary, and I'm just like, yeah, let's see how fucking legendary you are. And there's someone hiding in there under the covers. Why don't you stick your little head in there and see what's going on?
I feel like you're channeling Legomore here. This is really funny. I feel like he had a bit of a Cockney accent.
Yeah, it's one of my go-to accents I know I can maintain throughout.
Yeah, fair.
What do you do?
Very well. I agree but stall for time as I try to think about how to approach it and disguise that I am slightly scared of this. And when you just, I have fought many monsters. When you saw this twitch, did you see any creature or just like a movement of fabric or something?
Just a twitch, nothing that should be a match for someone as legendary as you. And then I smirk and walk off to go and notify Endrick of the situation, just so we're prepared as backup.
Enric is peering so goddamn closely at this door to this other room.
He's been staring at it for the past like 2 minutes. Do you want to do any checks on the door?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to make a perception check on the door.
Cool. Go ahead.
Oh, that was so close to a nat one. It's a 19 though.
Yeah, it's a door. Like even like sticking your hand out and like using a bit of your paladin Jedi sense, you don't detect any evil or any magic coming from this door.
Okay, he's like staring at the handle and then like abruptly like grabs it and opens the door.
Love it. Just like so scared. Okay, so inside this room, you see a small chamber with a bed, trunk, and a desk. Tucked against the wall, just inside the room, are a pair of newly shined shoes. On the desk, a quill rests in a pot of ink. 2 books lay open on the desk. One looks to be quite old, while the other appears to be newly bound.
Okay. I'm interested in anything that's in the chest and the books on the desk. I don't think I'm interested in the bed.
So you open up the chest. You can just see it's like some robes, some just like dirty underwear and stuff.
Okay.
Nothing too nice in here. You go over to the desk, and you can see that the book is. So the book on the left, the older book, appears to be in like an incomprehensible language. You can't read it. You don't know what it says. But then the book on the right, with like a quill sitting next to it, it seems to be transcribing the book to the left. And as you read, you can see that the book appears to be about a figure of myth who had a golden eye and a withered hand. It was said that anything this figure wished for came true, but that the figure met an untimely demise when a thief stole the eye from his head while they slept.
Interesting. Okay. So is this being like currently transcribed, or it's like partway through a transcription,
Yeah.
and now it's just chilling here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see like he like almost left in the middle of a sentence.
Okay. I don't think I have any reason to want either of these books. Is there? I don't think there's any other.
Yeah, the room's quite barren. So looking around,
Yep.
you're like, there's really not much else that I need to see here.
I'm gonna go and like look under the bed.
Boo. Nothing under the bed, just creaky wooden floorboards and stuff. Okay. Sorry, you were looking under the bed in this chamber that you were just in, or in the chamber that?
Yeah. No, the chamber I was just in.
Yeah, so you go to look under the bed. There's nothing there. Legendary. What are you doing as Endrick is exploring the room off to the right?
I'm going to tiptoe in to this room alone, and take in what Raymond had told me he saw. So where did he tell me he saw a twitch?
You saw a twitch under the bed sheet, and
Under the bed sheet.
yeah. So as you, or under the blanket, I guess. And as you look, you can see another small twitch. It's small. It's like the size of a large marble, and it just seems to like roll in place.
And I'm seeing that kind of like under the bed sheet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not seeing the form of anything, just a small movement.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Mage Hand to, because I'm too scared to get close, and I'm going to use my Mage Hand to pull the covers.
You pull back the covers, and there is a bloodshot eyeball sitting on the pillow, darting around.
And it's like looking and stuff?
Yeah.
Hello.
It continues twitching.
It doesn't say anything.
It says, hello, sir.
I'm just scanning through to see if I have anything.
Identify eye. Identify.
Identify spell.
Oh,
Such a
my
niche
God.
spell, only for eyeballs.
So I guess I'm struck by thinking: is this a dangerous eye that's watching us and communicating with someone else? And do I just squish it? I found the culprits. Tis an eye.
All right.
Or the culprit? Endrick's walking over and mishears him.
Rockford. Sorry, not Rockford.
Rockford. Wow, that's an entirely different campaign. Raymond, as Legendary calls out about an eye, make me an insight check. Insight check.
It will be
God,
my pleasure. That is. It's a roll of 2, but somehow that's an 18.
That's an inquisitive rogue for you. So you remember from the journal that whoever was writing this journal, it seems like their husband or partner was experiencing pain behind their left eye.
Right. You think maybe they...
He was experiencing pain behind his left eye when he came to bed. That was the exact...
Right. Yes,
wording.
yes. True. And now there's an eye in the bed. I'm sensing a connection.
Regular Sherlock Holmes over here.
And then there was also in the book over there that I was reading about, there was talking about a withered hand and an eye that got stolen. So I don't know, maybe this is also an eye related to that sort of thing. There was a hand in the room before.
Yeah. So
Didn't seem
maybe-
particularly withered until we fucking killed it, but you know.
So maybe we just like take the eye with us in case it unlocks the next door.
Or perhaps we're meant to put the pieces of somebody back together.
Interesting.
Well, we don't. Do we still have the arm?
I'll say that you could have brought the arm if you wanted to. You don't have to go back downstairs.
Give me the arm.
Sure. I check on the arm.
I'm gonna hold it near to the eye to see if it like.
You just see like it's just like kind of like this, and you just kind of like poke it forward into the eye.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Well, I don't like the way that thing is looking at me. Endrick's like, it's not evil, right? Like
Do you have an ability that allows you to sense evil?
I believe divine senses only, celestial fiend, undead. I don't think so.
Also, like it says, as an action, you can detect good and evil. So I'll say that like that encompasses niche scenarios like this. If you'd like to use a divine sense, I'll allow you to here. It'll be applicable.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
So through your journeys, you have grown to sense that, like, sources of good appear as, like, bright lights to your eyes and like a very clean sensory output. And then evil is like a dirty, oily presence. And you can sense neither here. It seems like this eye is an eye.
Okay. But there's magic here. I can tell that. Or is this literally because it's moving around of its own accord, right? So it's got to be kind of at this point. I'm talking to my.
I
party,
will say
right?
that you can feel traces of dark magic on the eye. Not that the eye itself is evil, but that what has caused it to get here is
may
evil.
have been. Okay, yeah, it is evil. Okay, fair enough. Well, maybe we can return this eye to somebody, but maybe they didn't want it to begin with if that's belonging to the person in the journal. Is there just can we just keep going up the staircase to another, like a higher floor in this tower?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, you of course can.
Okay, I don't think that there's anything else going on this floor.
Is anyone taking the eye, or are you leaving it on the bed?
I think we should take it with us. I was going to ask, is there any significance to the C with the spinal cord attached to it?
So there kind of is. I'm honestly going to skip that part. It's not important for the story, and we're getting pretty late.
Right.
So let's say that there's no C, there's no door, there's no dead leaves.
Okay.
We're probably going to have to fight the boss or continue the adventure next week as it is. And this is just an unnecessary part of the adventure that's used for a bit more fun and action. So,
Okay, upstairs then.
And has somebody taken the eye is my big question.
Yeah.
Who and how?
Jonathan doesn't want to. I'm not pocketing the eye. But I'm encouraging someone else to take it along with them. You're a big guy, Raymond.
Endrick will grab the eye if no one else is going to be taking it eagerly.
Okay, you guys, keep an eye on it.
That one was a real eye roller.
You guys are joking around. Endrick, you reach your hand out to touch the eye, and it swivels around so that the pupil looks directly into your eye as soon as you touch it. When this happens, you see a vision of a woman and a man talking about inscriptions found on the black gate in the observatory. The woman suggests that the inscriptions must hold the clues needed to unlock the gate. She then wonders aloud about Bryn, who is upstairs, and that he hasn't really left the laboratory in some time, and she's a bit worried about him. As the vision ends, I'm going to need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Hendrik?
Yeah, Endrick, because he's the one that touched the eye.
Yes.
You get to add your +4 from your thing.
14.
I love how Endrick is taking all this shit. I guess you are the tank. So you're going to take 9, 10, 11, 16 psychic damage and lose sight in your left eye. You just feel kind of like blackout. And your eyes are darting around, and Raymond and Jonathan, you guys can see him, and and you can see like this look of shock on his face, and looking closer you can see that his pupil in his left eye has gone milky white. And you now have disadvantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight.
God damn it. All right. Fair enough.
Endrick is just so resigned. He's like, why am I triggering every fucking trap in this place?
We'll find you an eye patch, old chap.
So you guys, Endrick just like absolutely battles on. You know, he just shrugs it off. He's had worse than this before, so he just shoulders through it, and you tuck the eye away in your pouch, which I imagine has the hand as well. No, I think Jonathan has the hand.
Okay, sure.
And then you guys ascend the steps.
I'm not touching any of that shit.
You guys ascend the steps to, and as you guys are walking up, you start to smell something. It's humid and it smells like decomposition. And as you approach the door at the top of the stairs, you can see that there's a sickly green light shining from under the door.
Okay. I'm going to investigate the door.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
So that is a 21.
Yeah, the door is heavily wooden door. You know, it's got those like metal linings and studs that fantasy doors have. You don't see any traps around it.
Hey, Endrick, have a go on the door.
Honestly, Hendrick's like, honestly, at this point, I'm just done with everything, and just goes up and just fucking tries to open the door. Like, he's just like,
you go
come on, I can throw the traps at me. Come on, buddy.
You shoulder Raymond out of the way and open the door. The door swings open, and you see a scene of horror in front of you. A decapitated body lies upright, shackled to an operating table. The entire room is just covered in this like sickly green light that doesn't really appear to be coming from anywhere. It's just like oozing out of the stonework itself. You can kind of hear this like squelching up above you, and looking up, you see that the ceiling is covered in pulsating flesh from which limbs and other body parts hang.
How many limbs? But like enough for it to be from like several people, or?
You would count about 9 limbs.
Right. Okay. So like 2 and a bit people.
Yeah, not quite
Maybe
3.
we have the other bits.
I was about to. Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I immediately turn around. I'm like, Jonathan, you just chuck that fucking hand back down the stairs. Like, there's limbs in here. This is a limb. I don't want to bring another limb into the limb room. That just seems like a bad idea. Like,
I don't know. Maybe if what happens if we return the?
Maybe it'll be grateful. Is that what you're thinking? That the
it will be, it will, like, someone will reform and be like, oh, thank God, I made a terrible mistake. I'm so glad you guys came and tossed my arm and my eyeball back in here.
That's some regular Witcher stuff. I feel like that's an exact plot line out of The Witcher.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I'm with Raymond here, and I'm going to throw the arm at the ceiling.
So you kind of like,
I just like sigh. I'm just like,
the hand up. It like does 1 or 2 flips in the air, hits the mound of flesh with a squelch, falls down to the ground, and then you can see this like head kind of emerge from this like giant mound of flesh, and it says, "Come join me. In Vecna's name, enjoy eternal embrace." And then it's gonna like squelch down from the ceiling, land on the ground, and everybody's gonna need to roll me initiative.
I'm going to say no thanks. I think I'm okay.
Yeah. I don't want to cuddle with this guy.
Hey.
Oh.
All right. Gotta be smart with this.
What does turned mean?
Turned. I'm gonna have to.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. I think
It's like a creature takes its like
Yeah,
action to dash away from you or something.
Right.
Okay, well, I got a 17.
Okay.
I got a 7.
I got a 7.
Hey. You've probably got higher dex than I do.
You also got 7?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I only have a I have a +0. Like I only have 11 dex.
I'm at 10 dex. Get
Uh.
wrecked. You go for me. Wait.
So we'll go.
Why am I happy?
You're a level 20 rogue with 10 dex.
No.
I am. Like I
dex.
say, I was creating a special character that focused more on like wisdom and charisma,
Right.
and then I guess I kind of forgot how shit works because I like stacked in the con a bit as well, thinking that that would at least provide me some protection. But it turns out it's all dex for your armor class modifiers,
Right.
and I just forgot about that part of the game.
Yeah, you got too comfy in expanse rules using the fate system. Is it fate? I think so.
Fortune.
No, it's
Armor
it's
defense.
the age
Armor toughness.
age system.
The age
Oh,
system?
like the tabletop system
Yeah.
that's used.
Yeah, you got fantasy age, modern age, all that.
Oh, interesting.
Green Ronin.
Okay, Jonathan Legendary up first again. So you see that this like
no, I'd say
you can see what's in front of you. It's fucked up. It's looking like it's coming to kill you.
All right.
no, thank you, no cuddles for me. I'm going to cast Banishment.
Ooh, very
Nice.
good. So that's a charisma save.
It is, yeah. I hope this is a charismatic blob of flesh, otherwise it's going to banish.
Oh, it got a natural 19
No.
minus 3,
Oh,
which is 16.
well, that's the attack save is a 19.
Okay, so then it fails.
Ah,
So this thing pops out of existence.
All right, let's just leave.
They don't call me legendary for nothing.
Can I take a look at is there anything in this room that's worth our time, or is everything smashed and like mangled?
I do want to say that you have a minute before this thing comes back. So any searching will have to be quick. You can see that there is a bunch of like trashed stuff just all around. The one thing that you can see that looks somewhat intact is a journal lying on a desk.
I say I'm gonna grab that journal, and I think we should just keep moving up the stairs. What do you guys think? As I'm like walking up.
As he's running up the stairs.
I think it's a good job that these guys kept journals, otherwise we wouldn't know.
I mean, they're researchers. Of course, they keep journals.
So we yeah. So you're not. I assume that Endrick is not going to pick up the journal. It's just like, yeah, we should grab that journal. Somebody else grab that journal.
No. I am going to pick up the journal.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
If it's a trapped journal and I take another 17 points of necrotic damage, then like
Just
that's what this campaign is. That's what this is about. Is I'm taking trap damage.
You pick up the journal.
Yeah, I don't want to bother reading it until we're out of the room. Like I can't read it in under a minute.
You pick up this dark leather journal, close it, tuck it under your arm, and quickly walk up the stairs.
Cool. I'm going to follow quickly up the stairs as well. Well within the minute time frame, I'll be gone.
And legendary?
Yeah, I pause for a minute trying to think, is there something I can do?
You pause for a full minute?
You pause for a full minute?
No, for a second. Is there something I can do to screw with this guy when he comes back? And then I just go, nope, and run after them. My little legs.
So you guys run up the stairs. You see another door in front of you. From under this door, as you guys are kind of going up the stairs, you can see that pools of blood are trickling out from underneath the door, and like not waterfalling down the steps, but like because they're kind of viscous, it's like they're dripping down the steps, and like the top steps right underneath the door are like covered, and then the steps like further down are less so.
This just keeps getting nicer. Like I feel like we should just make a return trip like every year to come back here.
They should Airbnb
some
this place out.
Right? What do you guys think? Yeah, could use a little bit of a fix-up job if we were gonna Airbnb it, but you know.
Yeah. All right, so
investigate the door.
That's
a lie. I opened the door.
Even better. You grab the door handle, open it up, and you can see inside. You see a room, or as Charles and his brother say it, a room of black slithering tentacles. They slither in pools of fresh blood. And if you guys are looking on Roll20, it's actually just below this.
all right.
Oh, lovely.
And on the far side of the wall, you can see a black metal gate.
Does gravity still matter here?
Gravity matters in the tower, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Tower has gravity.
All right, I'm gonna around. So like, the floor is tentacly fire stuff.
It's tentacles slithering in fresh pools of blood.
Oh, blood. Sorry, not fire. Yeah. The black gate, is there? Basically, I guess I'll think out loud a little bit here. I have the blessing of the Raven Queen, which allows me to teleport up to 30 feet. Is there like enough of a platform there that I would be able to like get to the, like on top of the gate, or somewhere that's safe from being like?
I would say you could like teleport and like grab onto the wall with a successful athletics or acrobatics check.
But no like ring around it or like plinth or anything.
Yeah, like the yeah.
Can you
covered.
Can you take somebody with you when you do that teleport, or is that a solo action sort of thing?
I'm gonna say that I, for some reason, throughout my 20 levels of career, have never tried that. So it would just be just something we would have to see what happened.
What does it say on the blessing of the Raven Queen? Because it would say you and one other creature.
No, it just says as a bonus action you can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space. You can see.
Yeah, so it's just one creature.
What about you?
Would legendary count as like carrying capacity?
Well, see, I've got these sweet shoes, and I can walk through the air. I've got a flying speed equal to my walking speed because of them. So I can just get like up and then across over there without having to deal with the tentacles. But like, I'm just trying to figure out how you guys are going to get over there.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a great idea. You should try that.
Sure. All right. I'll go for it. I mean, it kind of worked in the first room, but then he dropped from the ceiling afterwards. So we'll see what happens here. I guess I'm going to like float up about 10 feet into the air, like hopefully like out of reach of the tentacles is sort of my thought process here. So 10 to 15, and then move across the room towards the black gate and investigate it, see if I can figure out how I could feasibly open it. Or
Okay, so you float up above the tentacles. You see they kind of like flop up as you're walking by, but they don't have enough strength to like reach up and grab you. You cross the room to the black gate, and you can see that it's like this like cruel pitch black barbed metal, and inscribed in this metal is a couple different scenes. You can see in the first scene a man in wizard's robes raising his hand before a tall tower while other men and women bow down to him. The second scene displays a man sitting in a ritual circle drinking from a goblet. And the third and last scene shows a withered undead spellcaster battling a figure in full plate mail who wields an ornate longsword as a tower crumbles in the background.
there's a lot of old artwork on here. But I'm Endrick is more interested in figuring out if he can open this gate. Is there anything about this gate that reveals any sort of information to him as to how that would happen?
Give me a investigation check.
Okay. It's a 13.
Just from your like relatively layman's eye, and the information that you guys talked about a little bit on the second floor, you're kind of looking for it almost unconsciously. You see that one of the bowing figures in the last scene, or in the first scene, is missing its head. The wizard in the second scene is missing its left eye, and the undead creature in the third scene is missing its left hand. And where those are missing, you can see tiny little, almost like keyhole looking type things.
Okay, so I'm gonna sort of like look down at this, and then I'm gonna pull out the eye and see if I can fit it into the eye slot on the one of the guys.
As you pull out the eye and you bring it towards the gate, suddenly the figure on the gate has an eye, and it's disappeared from your hand.
Okay, well, the whole banish thing was really cool. I was down with that idea, but I'm pretty sure we have to get the head of whatever creature the fuck that was in the room before we can open this goddamn gate. So,
well, no, yeah, I mean, we got the arm is in that room as well on the floor, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
then,
yeah.
Didn't we go into a room where someone had been decapitated?
That was the last room you were in.
That was the room with the monster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, got ya. Okay. Yeah, then I guess we gotta go back. Maybe you can just can you vanish it again? Get what we need.
I think we need it. Do we need its head?
Yeah, I imagine that.
Oh,
the head that we
I
need
figured
is
we would
probably
need the head from the body that had been decapitated already.
Yeah, but it had been decapitated. That's a body without a head.
But I mean, have we confirmed that there was no head in the room?
It's true.
Fair enough. Well, either way, we have to go back down there, so we might as well go back down there and check and see if we can.
With you guys kind of figuring out what you might have to do to open this black gate, we're gonna call it for today, and we'll finish we'll finish Die Vecna Die next week.
Cool.
Okay. Well, that's
I'm actually like it's funny because I was seriously considering banishing the dude in the first room because I was just like we're here to fight Vecna. I'm just gonna banish this guy and we can just move on and we'll go fight Vecna. So I'm glad I wasn't the only person to have that idea, but it's a shame that is like definitely not the play here.
Banishing is like a double-edged sword because it's a good move in character, but it's kind of a terrible move for gameplay because you're just like, oh, fun. And everyone's like, yeah, initiative, and then you just like banish, done. I end this excitement.
Yeah, it's. I guess it's bad if there's just one person to fight. It's pretty good if you're like doing damage control and you've got like, a few
Yes,
few
scary
NPCs
threats.
to come up against. You can
Yeah,
get rid of
because
one
it's
temporarily.
concentration, right? So like if you're running an encounter, and you should never run an encounter where it's just one person. We did in this one, but you kind of need to kill that person anyways and take its head, so it's a bit of a moot point. But like, yeah, like if you, the other thing is that unless it's home to a plane that isn't the one that you're currently on,
Comes back after a minute.
yeah, it just comes back after a minute. So if you banish
So-
a person, they'll just be like, "Oh, I'm back."
I
after a
was
minute.
thinking about that, and like I feel like for the sake of us being able to complete this adventure, it'll come back after a minute.
Yeah.
But technically, the plane we're on right now is Limbo, and nothing is home in Limbo. So
It's
anything that we
true, but
vanished in Limbo would always go back to a home plane.
the way that I
Or is
reason
Limbo the
that
home
is
plane
that
of
these
Vecna?
things are these things don't have a home plane. These things are like twisted monstrosities that are kind of like trapped themselves on this plane and don't really have a place in any other plane. So
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. With that.
either way, that was really fun. I thought you guys were gonna die to a CR9 fucking bone devil in the first room for a bit.
There's so much that I have like not even scratched the surface of with my character. Like I didn't like, oh my god. So I wasn't sure. I didn't read Channel Divinity properly. I thought it was long rest to regain it, and so I'm like, I have to hold on to Channel Divinity until we reach Vecna, because we're not going to long rest in this thing.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh no, I get it back on short rest as well. Well, I should have just done Sacred Weapon to give myself a +4
Yeah.
and create dim light in that first room immediately, like hopefully negating the whole darkness thing.
Yeah.
And like, but I'm reading that and I'm going like, yeah, but I want to have that +4 when I'm fighting Vecna, not when I'm fighting some random bone thing.
Yeah, it's very true. Like especially in a one
that was
shot
just
with
my
20th
bad.
level, like the first thing you encounter, you're kind of like, I don't really want to use my resources here. But yeah, it's a tough call, especially when you're using spellcasters and stuff that don't recharge on short rests. But
Well, and I mean, again, it's mostly just that I'm not familiar with it, right? Because usually by the time you reach a 20 level character, you've played it a bunch, and so you have a
You
sense
already
of
know
like
most
how
of the spells that you have and everything.
yeah, you know how things go, you know what you can afford to like waste.
you remember
kind
to
of,
use
or-
evasion every turn.
yeah, right, or like
Cool.
I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff. So
Well,
it's
you guys will be able to play as your level 20 characters next week, where I try to kill you with Vecna. That is assuming that you guys are able to get to him. So I guess we'll see.
Well, yeah, I think we'll be able to do it. I think we'll be able to kill them all. I think there'll be at least one of us standing at the end of it.
And you'll probably have VJ next week, so maybe like a random cleric will show up to aid you. Actually, no, she's a school of evocation wizard, so maybe she'll just pop in to help you guys out, which is good. I'm glad that you guys have 4 people going up against Vecna, so I can run the original stat block and see if it's like, okay, let's see what happens in this fight.
Yeah, that way when we win, you can't like use that as an excuse.
Exactly. Yeah. And that way, when you guys get fucking murdered, you can't use that as an excuse.
Exactly, it works both ways in our favor. Did we end up breaking our record for viewers?
Yeah, so we actually broke the record of viewers with a grand total of 0 viewers. Well, I guess 1 viewer.
1, right?
Yeah, because Charles is technically viewing it on his end. I think you are, unless somebody's just been watching this whole time.
I don't think it's me. My stream is closed.
Maybe it's
don't be a parent. Don't be a parent to us. No, it wasn't me.
Like I have my Twitch stream open, so I think maybe it's me.
Might just you.
No, it's not you. I think there's legit someone live.
When you were saying there was a tiny Twitch under the bed, I was having to resist saying, "Is that the Arcane Eye Twitch channel?"
Oh,
that would have been good. So I do think you just thought of that now, though.
No, I didn't.
Well, if you're out there in the ether of the internet and you've somehow come across this stream before June 21st, 2022, come back to this Twitch channel at 8 p.m. EST, where we're going to be taking on Vecna next week. Yeah, we'll see you guys then.
Can we get people pumped about what's coming next, or is that
yeah, we'll talk about it. So this stream will continue Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Over the next month or so, we're going to be running a homebrew adventure that is based off of second edition's Rock of Brawl book. This is a Spelljammer setting, so we're kind of using this as a ramp up to Spelljammer, which is going to be released on August 18th. So we're going to be running like level 1 to 5 campaign on Spelljammer, and just kind of pulling from the second edition source book that gives us everything we need. All right. Well,
Sounds exciting.
we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks for hosting, Mike.